Còn thì cái chạm tháo bé chơi dài tỏ bé giờ lo tới đâu một lần có đó là gì chỉ
ว่าท่านผู้มีเกียรติท่านหญิงและท่านชาย เพื่อนนักรบเก่านางไม้เด็กกำปาที่ฮักแปลงทั้งหลายนี่เป็นมื้อสำคัญพิเศษที่สุดที่พวกเราได้มาเต้าหมกัน เพื่อทำพิธีเฉลิมฉลองวันระลึกได้รับรู้ถึงบุญคุณความงามคุณดีของเพื่อนนักรบลาวอเมริกันในฝั่งสงครามเวียดนาม
Today is a very important day. We gather here to watch Vietnam War in Laos.
เรื่องสงครามเวียดนามในลาวเป็นสงครามใต้ดินได้รับ เมื่อเว้าถึงสงครามในลาวแล้วลูกภายนอกบ่ก็ฮู้ว่ามันเป็นมาแนวใดแท้
I would like to inform you the critical role that the Lao American veterans play in the Vietnam War. Our involvement was a deeply held secret. It is because of the secrecy of our involvement, the contribution made by the Lao American veterans during the Vietnam War went by unnoticed.
เมื่อนี้ข้าพเจ้าจึงสรุปการเอาสงครามเวียดนามในเรามาเข้าสู่พวกท่านฟังดังต่อไปนี้สงครามเวียดนามในเราปี1961ท่านประธานาธิบดีจอห์น F. เคนเนดีได้มาร้องขอรัฐบาลแห่งราชอาณาจักรลาวเพื่อขอความร่วมมือร่วมรบกับพวกคอมมิวนิสต์อินโดจีนเพราะเราเป็นประเทศที่มีระบอบเสรีประชาธิปไตยรัฐบาลลาวจึงตกลงให้ความร่วมมือเพื่อป้องกันเสรีภาพในของเขตนั้น
Today, I would like to tell you the story of Lao American veterans. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy asked the Royal Lao government for cooperation in the containment of communist aggression and expansion in Southeast Asia. During this critical era, Laos faced the threat of communism. Because of this threat, the Royal Lao government formed a strong alliance with the United States to fight communism, so that freedom and democracy can be preserved in Laos and in other Southeast Asian countries.
เมื่อมีการตกลงร่วมมือแล้วทางรัฐบาลแห่งราชอาณาจักรลาวจึงได้มอบอำนาจให้ข้าพเจ้าประสานงานกับเจ้าหน้าที่ของรัฐบาลอเมริกันโดยตรงหลังจากข้าพเจ้าได้รับคำสั่งจากรัฐบาลแล้วก็ได้มาเตรียมการพืชผลทุกประเด็นงานต่างๆที่เกี่ยวข้องกับงานดังกล่าวและก็ได้เริ่มลงมือปฏิบัติใน1961มาจนถึง1975
After the formation of the alliance, the Royal Lao government granted me command of the military force in Region 2. I was directed to organize the troops and to direct the war side by side with the United States against communism from 1961 to 1975. เวียดงานที่ได้มอบหมายให้ข้าพเจ้าเหตุนั้นคือ 1. เพื่อจัดการกำลังทหารเวียดนามเหนือที่จะผ่านลาวสู่เวียดนามใต้ 2. ช่วยชีวิตนักบินชาวอเมริกันที่ถูกยิงตกตามสายแดนลาวเวียดนาม 3. ป้องกันราดาร์ที่มาตั้งใส่ทั้งภูปฏิสาย 85 เพื่อแนะนำทิศทางการบินที่จะไปทิ่มระเบิดในเวียดนามเหนือและภาคเหนือของเรา My missions were 1. To protect and defend Laos against the flow of communist Vietnamese by Laos to South Vietnam. 2. to rescue American pilots shot down by along the Laos-Vietnam border. 3. To maintain and protect critical U.S. navigation installations, including Lemon Size 85, Kupati, in northern Laos, which serve to guide U.S. planes in the bombing of North Vietnam and certain northern parts of Laos.
การปฏิบัติงาน 15 ปีของสงครามเวียดนามในลาวนั้นได้เฮ็ดให้ทั้งกองทัพลาวสูญเสียตายไปเป็นจำนวน 50,000 คน ในจำนวนนี้บ่ได้นับพลเรือนนำกำลังทหารของข้าพเจ้าได้ทำหน้าที่อย่างดีที่สุดสามารถทำลายกำลังของศัตรูหลาย10,000 คนและยึดเอาเครื่องอาวุธยุทโธปกรณ์สงครามทั้งหนักและเบาเสบียงอาหารยุทธยาก็นำสัมปารายเฉลี่ยแล้วเป็นเงินหลายพันล้านดอลลาร์
During the 15 years of our close association with the United States, over 50,000 Laotian soldiers were killed in action, not including the civilian casualties. The troops that I commanded fought the communists with supreme heroism to protect and to defend the common-held belief. Tens of thousands of Vietnamese soldiers were killed by our forces. In addition, my troops destroyed or captured military supplies and equipment from the Pathet Lao and North Vietnamese army, valued at many billions of dollars.
พระเจ้าจึงขอถือโอกาสนี้เพื่อแสดงความสรรเสริญนักรบลาวนักรบเก่าลาวอเมริกันทุกท่านทั้งท่านยิงและท่านชายที่มีความมุ่งอาจกล้าหาญสู้รบกับพวกศัตรูคอมมิวนิสต์15 ปีที่ผ่านมา
Members of my fellow Lao American veterans, I would like to take this opportunity to honor you bravery and dedication in the fight against communism for over 15 years.
สงครามเวียดนามในลาวมีการแตกต่างกับสงครามเวียดนามใต้เพราะเวียดนามใต้มีทหารอเมริกัน 500,000 คนนอกนั้นยังมีทหารออสเตรเลียทหารเกาหลีใต้ทหารไต้หวันทหารไทยและทหารเวียดนามใต้ด้วยกันเพื่อร่วมกันรบกับพวกคอมมิวนิสต์เวียดเมนและเวียดกุง
The operations in Laos during the Vietnam War were very different from the military operations in South Vietnam. In South Vietnam, 500,000 American troops, along with joint force from Australia, South Korea, Taiwan, and Thailand, fought for the war alongside with the South Vietnamese troops. The joint force achieved greater results in fighting the Viet Minh and the Vamkhom.
ในด้านลาวแล้วเพียงแต่ได้รับอาวุธยุทโธปกรณ์และการช่วยเหลือด้านงบประมาณเท่านั้นหมายความว่านักรบลาวผู้หนึ่งต้องได้สู้กับศัตรู10 คนจึงพาให้เราได้รับพละนักกว่าด้านอื่นเปรียบใส่ประชาชนลาว3,500,000 คนนักรบลาวได้เสียไป 50,000 คนที่เสียชีวิตในสงครามเวียดนามไปเทียบใส่ประชาชนอเมริกัน200 ล้านคนได้เสียนักรบ 58,000 คนในสงครามเวียดนามนั่นหมายความว่านักรบลาวได้ตายหลายกว่า10 เท่าสำหรับในสงครามเวียดนาม
Because Laos was a neutral country, no foreign troops were allowed. Therefore, we had to fight the war alone. In comparison, each of our troops must fight against as many as 10 Vietnamese troops. Therefore, we suffered a greater casualty rate. Over 50,000 of our troops died in battles. The population of Laos consisted of only 3.5 million, in comparison to American casualty of 58,000 in South Vietnam. The percentage of our troops killed is about 10 times higher than America. We suffered heavy losses. We still have the motivation and dedication to protect our homeland against communism. However, due to the political situation, a compromise was signed in 1973 in Paris between the United States and Vietnam. The United States respected the agreement and withdrew its military personnel from Southeast Asia, but the Communist Vietnam violated the agreement and used force to take over Laos. The Communists and Pathet Lao overthrew the government of Laos. They arrested the king of Laos, his family, and over 46,000 government officials. All were sent to concentration camps for punishment and extermination in Nguyen Vien Sai, Sam Nha province. Eventually, the king and his family, including most government officials, were all killed. Furthermore, they began a systematic elimination of people opposed to the communism. Because of this, over 500,000 Laotian peasants fled from their beloved homeland to become refugees throughout the world. For those that remain and cannot get out, the jungle was their only heaven, where they began to revolt against the communist government. Since 1975, the struggle continued without official recognition of their struggle. They request assistance from the United Nations and the United States. However, their plea for help went by unnoticed. It's because of this situation that we, the Lao American veterans, must unite and seek the assistance of the United Nations and the United States to help restore the democratic government in Laos. The situation in Laos is very similar to Cambodia's in that the enemy of Laos and Cambodia is the same. This would lead to the stability and peace in Indochina.
Hello and good evening. Again, my name is Brian Lipper. I represent Congressman Dornan. And on behalf of the Congressman, we thank you for allowing us to participate in this weekend's long overdue ceremonies. As many of you know, the Congressman and his Special Assistant, Al Santoli, are very concerned with the plight of the Hmong who remain in Southeast Asia. It is the Congressman's intent to assist in every way possible with the relocation of many of those persons to the United States. Further, the Congressman has prepared a tribute to the Hmong military veterans, and if you'll bear with me only briefly, I'd like to share with you those comments. During the struggle for freedom in Southeast Asia from 1960 through 1975, the critical years of the Vietnam War, there was no ally more loyal to the United States of America than the Hmong irregular forces under the command of General Vamkhom. In the rugged mountains of Laos, in the plain of Jars and along the Ho Chi Minh Trail, Hmong soldiers demonstrated courage above and beyond the call of duty. With the aid of a small number of American Special Operations and CIA infantry advisors and pilots, vastly outnumbered Hmong guerrillas, including young teenagers who were not as tall as their rifles, fought numerous North Vietnamese infantry and armored divisions to a standstill. On numerous occasions, Hmong rescued downed American air crews or risked their lives to recover bodies at crash sites. And as former CIA Director William Colby has cited, significantly for Americans, the 70,000 North Vietnamese engaged in fighting the Hmong in Laos were not available to add to the forces fighting against American soldiers in South Vietnam. The Sky Soldiers of General Vang Pao deserve this long overdue tribute in our respect. I have long considered General Vang Pao to be a man of courage and integrity. I am proud to be his friend.
Honored to be here tonight. Congressman Radonovich unfortunately was unable to attend this evening's dinner, but he sends to all the Lao veterans his sincere appreciation and respect for all that you have done. On Thursday, the congressman put in the Congressional Record in Washington, D.C., a statement regarding General Vang Pao. I'm going to read a portion of that this evening. Mr. Speaker, I would like to recognize a special leader from the 19th Congressional District, General Vang Pao. He is deserving of the highest commendation for his many contributions to the development of the Hmong and Laotian communities in Central California. The rest of the remarks regard the war and the development of the communities here in the United States. The Congressman also sent with me tonight a flag of the United States, which I would like to present to General Vang Pao. Thank you very much.
Moving along here, we would like to invite from the Honorable Governor Pete Wilson's office, Nishan Majarian, who is the District Director of the Central Valley for our governor.
เป็นบุญคุณของพวกท่านทุกคนนั่นแหละก็อยากให้อันตรงนี้เพื่อเป็นสัญลักษณ์แก่นักรบเก่าเรา
On behalf of the state of California, it is my distinct pleasure to join with everyone in observing National Lao Veterans Days this weekend. On this occasion, we pay tribute to the memories of the thousands of Lao and Hmong veterans who lost their lives in defense of freedom and honor those survivors who, after fighting bravely against the forces of communism, were driven from their homeland as refugees. California has been fortunate to benefit from the contributions of our vibrant Lao and Hmong communities. I thank these courageous veterans for serving alongside U.S. forces with distinction in defense of the ideals of freedom, liberty, and tolerance that we all cherish. Please accept my very best wishes for meaningful observance. Signed, sincerely, Governor Pete Wilson, State of California. Thank you.
Finland. And Paul's from Senator Ken Mattey's office, but he is representing both Senator Ken Mattey and also Senator Jim Costa.
It is indeed a pleasure to be here on behalf of both Senator Jim Costa and Senator Ken Mattey tonight. They asked me to present this joint Senate resolution, and while I will not read the entire resolution, rest assured it is filled with very deserving and great praise. The words held in this are but a small token in honor of the great sacrifice, heroism, and courage that was displayed so many years ago. So, while the senators could not be here, they wanted me to pass along their most sincere praise and thanks to all that served, and wanted me to present this to General Vang Pao.
Thank you, Paul, and be sure to please.
เพื่อนนักรบมุสลิมนะอันนี้เป็นเลือดเนื้อพวกเจ้ามุสลิมนะ
Unfortunately, Assemblyman Txog couldn't be here tonight, but he did want me to come and to read you this very special letter to all of you. To Lao and Hmong veterans of America, I was delighted to learn that May 11th and 12th have been declared National Lao Veterans Days. It is my privilege to join all Americans in honoring the great Lao and Hmong American veteran who were instrumental in the pivotal battles of the Vietnam era. You displayed remarkable courage and self-sacrifice in the interest of democracy for the people throughout Southeast Asia and the United States. You fought valiantly in defense of your homeland and risked your lives providing safe havens for American soldiers. You were forced from your homes for these brave acts. It is imperative that the Lao and Hmong veteran role in history is not forgotten. You have continued the fight against the tyranny of communism and are meeting the challenge of building productive lives here in California and throughout this great nation. Again, I commend each Lao American and Hmong American combat veteran who fought gallantly to assist the United States. You deserve the gratitude of every American. Cordially yours, Assemblyman Txog. Thank you.
I am humbled to be here today in front of so many generals and great military leaders and those who served in our military and Hmong and Laos military. And because you served, my generation did not have to serve, so thank you. Thanks to all of you for that. I have taken the role in the city of Fresno as the one who tries to make sure that all the Hmong people and Laotian people who've moved to Fresno have the same opportunity as everybody else in Fresno. We have a good helper. You have a good representative, Dr. Vang. We are very happy to have him working for the city of Fresno. Dr. Sheriff. And I look forward to the day, and I think it's going to be a day very soon, that we have the first Hmong American serving on the Fresno City Council. I look forward to that. I bring a proclamation from the mayor and the city council, and there's a lot of historical whereases, and I just wanted to read the ending, which I think best represents what we're trying to say today. Whereas now, 20 years later, the new, young generation of Lao Hmong, in cooperation with Lao Veterans of America, have taken the initiative to remember those who gave their lives, who have sacrificed much, and are honored and remembered as heroes. In witness hereof, we declare this day, the 11th day of May, 1986, to remember those who served so honorably for your country and ours. Thank you very much.
Sawadee-kap. General Vamkhom, General Tongri, all Lao veterans, officers, sergeants, men, I thank you. I'm honored to be here. I would like to say just a few words. I'll keep them short. I once had a chief who had a sign on his desk, "Be brief, be blunt, be gone." I'll try and be gone shortly. But I would, before being gone, I want to say that I can speak to the fact that there was a secret war. And we were forced to do that at that time. This is the first time I think I've ever spoken of it publicly. But it will not be the last, because I feel that the Lao veterans, the Hmong particularly, have not received the appreciation, the gratitude of the American people, the gratitude that we all, those of us who were there, felt. I was at the Plaine de Jarre in 1969. I was on the Bolivans Plateau when we cleaned that out. And I'd say that all of the troops with whom I was associated were outstanding men. The leadership was strong. I remember a specific incident when General Vamkhom was on the Bolivans Plateau. He had come to visit one of the 2nd Region's battalions, which was training down there. But we were running an operation which was rapidly failing. General Vamkhom came along and pulled all the officers together of the various units that were there and proceeded to give them a very strong and encouraging speech. Unfortunately, my knowledge of Lao did not permit me to understand everything he said, and yet I knew everything he was saying. It was get going and let's get this battle done and won. And by golly, shortly after the speech, they rejoined their units, and the battle was completed. General, that was a great day. I thank also all of the other veterans, the mothers, the fathers, the daughters, the children, all of whom lost and suffered, because the entire people of Laos suffered and are still suffering. And I hope that, I know there's not going to be a quick change. I'd be ridiculous to say so. But I wish that there could be. And I hope that all of us, we Americans, who are associated in one way or another with Laos during our period of our life, that we would get out there and tell the American people and talk to them and write to our senators and congressmen, just as has been urged that all of you do. I certainly intend to. And I'm going to keep on trying, because I believe that the people of Laos were the greatest allies that we had in many a year. They were so strong, so fine. And it's not their fault that we decided to pull the plug. Anyway, I salute all of you and thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm certainly proud and pleased to be here tonight to speak to the Lao Veterans of America. They are a wonderful group of dedicated men, and I'm sure over the years they have had dedicated wives and children. These are trying times in this country for Asians who have come here as refugees, and I'm sure everyone at the podium, the guests, certainly General Vamkhom knows that. So the more that we Americans who served in Laos can get the message out that these people sacrificed on our behalf for a long period of time, and for some unknown reason, they've been maligned in the media over the years, and many authors have come out and written scurrilous articles and books about what happened in Laos, the forgotten war. But it's one of these unknown quantities that happens in this country. If it's not front page news, and it wasn't second page news, Laos was the 12th page news in the New York Times or the Washington Post. Consequently, no one really covered it in the media, and years later, now we have all these pocket instant historians who are writing books, telling myths, lies, and it's got to a point where, having been a military advisor in Laos as early as 1958, working with the Hmong and the Lao army at a very critical time, I have decided to be a little more vocal. And out there in the audience, I know that there are many representatives of the U.S. military who served in Laos. And so just to update a bit of history, I'm a CIA officer, retired, but I have a military background. And over a long period of time, the U.S. military have not been given the credit for the early stages of their support to the Lao government, dating back to 1957. American military advisors were in Laos. They were quietly doing their job, working with the airborne battalions, the infantry battalions, the Maquis de Choc, the Auto Defense Forces. At that particular time, General Vamkhom was a captain. And all this has been overlooked. And I see the great seal of the Central Intelligence Agency here, but there should be a seal of the U.S. Department of Defense, because had it not been for military advisors such as Colonel Arthur D. Bull Simons, who led a group of special forces into Laos in 1959 and sent these teams working all around the country with Lao, Hmong, and other ethnic groups, there wouldn't have been a nucleus for the resistance that finally evolved after the United States came to its senses about the importance of holding Laos against the communist tide. So again, just to dispel the myth, the United States military's early efforts in Laos were, in a very real sense, the real core of what was on the ground when we finally decided to move in. 42 years ago, the French lost the last big battle of their Indochina debacle. And I have great respect for the French. The Battle of Dien Bien Phu. Well, one of the unknown factors in that, to many people, is that perhaps tonight, in this room, there are Lao and Hmong veterans who served in the army in support of the French forces at Dien Bien Phu. Are there any Dien Bien Phu veterans here? There must be some, because Vang Pa was there. And there's a Mr. B out there who was a French soldier. So, what we're really getting at, the Lao and the Hmong have been fighting communism alongside Western powers since the 40s. They sacrificed alongside the French, and then when the French lost the battles, we took up the mortgage. And they fought, and they fought, and they fought. But little recognition has been given. So again, tonight I'm proud to be here among these people. And I just hope that we can do more in the public relations arena to get the message out that these people sacrifice mightily in support of our efforts in Southeast Asia, contrary to all the bogus histories that are being written by vest pocket photojournalists in the name of historical fact. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, veterans, generals, I'm here because I have a profound interest in freedom of peoples around the world. And that specifically includes the people in Laos who deserve the attention that so far they haven't received. I have worked for people's freedom in Africa, in Afghanistan, in the Middle East, and somewhat earlier in Europe. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you tonight to learn a lot more about the situation. And I can tell you when I get back to Washington, I'll help spread the word. We've got to do more for those folks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, General.
Well, I've retired from that position, but I'm wearing a different hat tonight. Also, as a soon-to-be retired president of the 6th Region Association in the United States Army. Our association, which is the professional association of the U.S. Army, covers the 6 western states of the United States. And we're very proud today to present a special recognition to General Vang Pa. He's a soldier, an individual who has served his country valiantly in wartime and continues to serve for the cause of freedom in peacetime. And on that note, I would like to convey or present to him the Association's Distinguished Service Award. Thank you very much.
Thank the Lao veterans for inviting me and my warbird friends to join with you today. As a retired Air Force colonel with more than 24.5 years in the Air Force, there were many highlights to my career, including 1,005 combat hours, 1,000 1,100 hours in the A-10 Warthog, 8 years at the Pentagon, 4 of which working directly for the Secretary of the Air Force. But that 1 year in 1971, when I fought as a Raven in Laos, was the single high point of my career. And I greatly admire General Vang Pao and the Laotian fighters, pilots, and soldiers. They did a tremendous job. And I'm just sorry that we weren't able to support them more and didn't have to pull the plug like we did. I thank you very much for inviting us. Tomorrow, my warbird friends will be, they brought 6 beautiful T-28s down. They're parked at the Wofford Flying Service. And promptly at 1 o'clock, we will be doing a flyby over the Hornet Stadium. We'll make 3 passes, the last of which will have a missing man formation. So I hope you all are able to witness that event. And if you want to see the airplanes, you need to be out looking at them before about 12:30 before we start up the engines and taxi out. So my hat is off to General Vang Pao, a Major General who was fighting as an officer at 54, leading a garrison of troops to the defense of Dien Bien Phu when it fell, and fought for 20 years as an officer and a general. I don't know of anybody else who's done that. He would be a Major General by anybody's services standards. And my respect to General Vang Pao and the Laotians.
It starts with a quote by President John Kennedy. In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. This is from the Congress of the United States. And those are the words of President John Kennedy. In tribute to former CIA Director William Colby and the United States military and clandestine forces who served in the Vietnam War, we join the grateful people of America to award to you this commendation and citation for Vietnam service in Laos. To Major General Vang Pao, on this 12th day of May, 1996, for your courageous defense of your people and homeland against communist aggression and your support and sacrifice on behalf of United States military and clandestine forces. Hmong and Lao units in the Royal Lao Armed Forces operated in crucial air and ground combat missions for United States military and clandestine forces, including the rescuing of downed air crews and the interdiction and destruction of enemy troop and supply convoys. Against overwhelming enemy manpower and weaponry, the outnumbered Hmong and other Royal Lao forces successfully fought as allies of the United States to maintain the freedom of Laos and other Southeast Asian nations threatened by the invasion of Soviet-backed North Vietnamese forces. Now, therefore, on this 12th day of May, 1996, we confer upon you and the other Hmong and Lao combat veterans this commendation and citation and the long overdue recognition and honor you so rightly deserve for your sacrifices on behalf of the United States, Laos, and the freedom-loving people of Southeast Asia. And this was to be signed by William Colby. But instead,
originally we'd like to present it to Philip S. Smith from the Lao Veterans of America. Philip, please come up here. We'd like to present this next plaque to State Senator Jim Costa, so if Paul Shalin would come up and accept this on his behalf, please. Or did Paul have to leave? No, okay. Well, I will keep it here and I will make sure that it gets, oh, Paul, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. we also have one for Senator Ken Matty. So Paul, you can take that back to him also. But not least, we have a few plaques here that Colonel Van Yee, who is the president of the Lao Veterans of America Incorporated Association, and he wants to give these and present these to General Vamkhom.
Presented to Major General Vang Phao, Honorary Chairman, Lao Veterans of America, Inc. In highest recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your crucial military service in defense of Laos and the United States in the cause of freedom and democracy during the Vietnam War, Lao Veterans Day, May 11 through 12, 1996. Presented to Philip S. Smith, May 12, 1996, in recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your leadership role on behalf of freedom for Laos and the emancipation of Hmong and Laotian refugees who served with U.S. clandestine and military forces during the Vietnam War.
I'd like to ask Brigadier General Tong Lee to come out, please.
Presented to Brigadier General Tong Lee Chok Bin Bao, Advisor, Lao Veterans of America, Inc., in highest recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your crucial military service in defense of Laos and the United States in the cause of freedom and democracy during the Vietnam War, Lao Veterans Day, May 11 through 12, 1996. Presented to Lieutenant Colonel Van Yee Vang, President, Lao Veterans of America, Inc., in highest recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your crucial military service in defense of Laos and the United States in the cause of freedom and democracy during the Vietnam War, Lao Veterans Day, May 11 through 12, 1996. Presented to Major Cha Ki-jong, Vice President, Lao Veterans of America, Inc., in highest recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your crucial military service in defense of Laos and the United States in the cause of freedom and democracy during the Vietnam War, Lao Veterans Day, May 11 through 12, 1996. Presented to Lieutenant Colonel Kampan Luang Vitet, Lao Representative for Lao Veterans of America, Inc., in highest recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your crucial military service in defense of Laos and the United States in the cause of freedom and democracy during the Vietnam War, Lao Veterans Day, May 11 through 12, 1996. Presented to Major Vamkhom Sivonsai, Vice President in Public Relations and Chairman of the State of Kansas Office, Lao Veterans of America, Inc., in highest recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your crucial military service in defense of Laos and the United States in the cause of freedom and democracy during the Vietnam War, Lao Veterans Day, May 11 through 12, 1996.
I'd like to now ask Captain Zhezong Deng to come up here, please.
Presented to Captain Zhezong Vang, Chairman, State of Minnesota Office, Lao Veterans of America, Inc., in highest recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your crucial military service in defense of Laos and the United States in the cause of freedom and democracy during the Vietnam War, Lao Veterans Day, May 11 through 12, 1996.
Next, I'd like to ask Captain Neeb Xyooj.
Presented to Captain Neeb Xyooj, Vice Chairman, State of Minnesota Office, Lao Veterans of America, Inc., in highest recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your crucial military service in defense of Laos and the United States in the cause of freedom and democracy during the Vietnam War, Lao Veterans Day, May 11 through 12, 1996.
Next, we'd like to ask Lieutenant Vang to come up and receive a plaque, please.
Presented to Lieutenant Vang, Chairman, State of Wisconsin Office, Lao Veterans of America, Inc., in highest recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your crucial military service in defense of Laos and the United States in the cause of freedom and democracy during the Vietnam War, Lao Veterans Day, May 11 through 12, 1996. Presented to Colonel Leej Xyooj, Advisor, Lao Veterans of America, Inc., in highest recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your crucial military service in defense of Laos and the United States in the cause of freedom and democracy during the Vietnam War, Lao Veterans Day, May 11 through 12, 1996. Presented to Major Pajar Lowe, Chairman, State of Pennsylvania Office, Lao Veterans of America, Inc., in highest recognition and appreciation by members of Congress for your crucial military service in defense of Laos and the United States in the cause of freedom and democracy during the Vietnam War, Lao Veterans Day, May 11 through 12, 1996.